Hello and welcome, St Clair Anglican Church. It's good to be speaking with you. Hopefully by October 31 we'll be speaking face-to-face as well. I thought I'd produce this video as a quick snapshot and overview of the opening procedures that will be occurring at St Clair Anglican Church by October 31, as well as for youth group that's opening up on October 29 on the Friday afternoon and night. The first thing to say is, isn't it good that we have a process now in place from the public health orders and the government that allows us to open up and resume face-to-face services for October 39. Of course, we will be continuing our Facebook Live service until then and also after October 31, because we know that will be many people who may not feel comfortable at that point to come back to face-to-face services for a whole variety of reasons. So from October 31, there'll be both options available. That is, the face-to-face services will begin and continue on that day and forward, as well as the Facebook Live service as well. There'll be a few procedures that will happen, and most of them will be so well known to us, they'll, I think, will appear just like normal, sadly, in one sense. And that is, they'll be similar in many respects to what happened when we did have reopening in 2020 and at some points earlier on in 2021. That is, as you come into church, you'll need to sign in using the New South Wales QR code check-in. If you don't have that, we'll have a manual procedure for everybody to be able to do, and we'll place that information in our own database and only hand it over to the government if required. So same sort of check-in processes that you've been through many times, QR code, check-in normally with your phone or manual, as I've said. As you come in church, and certainly from October 31, at least until December 1 at this point, you'll be required to wear a mask, unless of course you're under the age of 11. But for all of those who are old enough to wear a mask, those above the age of 12, unless they have an exemption, will be required to wear a mask and to obey our 4 square metre rule given to us by the government. But many of you will know that from last year as well. So very simple instructions that we've done in the past. Singing will be at that first step that we had, if you recall, last time, where the only people allowed to sing are those in the band. So it's more like the band singing and playing an item, and that will be the same process this time round, at least until December 1, that we've had in the past as well. Morning tea, like previously, if you recall, will be outside rather than inside. And if it's raining, then we'll hopefully have it in the awning. If it's bucketing down with rain, then of course we won't have it at all. And so from the service's conclusion, we'll proceed outside at the back there in order to hopefully share in a bit of fellowship together around morning tea. In terms of volunteers and vaccinations, the policy that the government has had until very recently is that all volunteers and staff will be required to be vaccinated, and for those records to be shown and kept potentially by one staff member, which would be myself. They've relaxed that slightly to a recommendation, and so our recommendation is still that staff like myself, who I'm fully vaccinated, will be vaccinated in order to be involved with morning tea, involved with looking after the kids, and also welcoming. Those requirements have been relaxed from a desire to have them as a mandatory requirement to a desire to be a recommended requirement, and that's sort of where we're going. We recommend that all who are in those ministries show us those vaccination certificates, and we can just cite those and see that you are vaccinated. Kids ministry will continue as before. That is, you come into church, those 0 to 11 don't require to be wearing masks, and obviously they can't be vaccinated, and then they'll go out to their kids programs with their leaders who will also be wearing a mask. So if a kid is above the age of 12 who goes out to those programs, they will be required to wear a mask, but those under the age of 12 will not be able to do so, of course, and they will participate in their kids ministries as they've done in previous. So I look forward to getting back to church face-to-face on October 31. Youth group will be on October 29, and Evan is planning to have as many outdoor activities as possible to encourage as many people to come, but also, I suppose, to give opportunity for those wearing masks to take them off and enjoy a bit of outdoor time together. The other thing I want to mention is, and you would have seen this hopefully on the Facebook page and been mentioned in the service coming up this Sunday and next Sunday, that we wish to have times where we can hopefully spruce the church up a bit. And so on Sunday in the service on October 18, you'll hear it mentioned, the idea of coming together and actually sprucing the church up for October 23, 9 a.m. Bring a vac, bring a broom, bring your morning tea. We can share it outdoors together after we've done a bit of cleaning. This is to sort of get the building up and running. And it's been had no cleaning, of course, since the initial lockdown period months ago, and it does need a bit of a vac and clean up. So if you're able to drop by, then come, mask in hand. But if you're outdoors, of course, you won't need to wear that. But just in case you're vacuuming indoors, and we'll share that together, that task of cleaning the church up 9 a.m. and then we'll share a bit of morning tea afterwards. If you can come, that'd be awesome. On October 23, that's a Saturday morning, and we'll do that task together. Otherwise, I'll hopefully see as many people as possible October 31 together in church. Won't that be great? Amen.